Hi. I want to give you a solution video for queries module 5. So I want to start out by question 1. And here it says create a query that shows the following: the 4 right characters of student ID, session type, and cost. So here I've got TBL contract as the name of the table. And right here I've got session type and cost. And I've also got the student ID. And here the right 4 characters. So I'm using the right function right here, and then I give it the student ID, which is the field that I want the characters extracted from. And then I said that I want the right 4, so I put a 4 here. And then over here, I have a name of a field, Breve Stud ID. And then finally, the criteria is cost is greater than or equal to 400. And so greater than or equal to 400. So if I run that query, then this is the outcome of that query. Okay. Okay, so question 2 says that in your database you should find the following table: TBL student, got TBL student here. Create a grouping query that shows the following fields: city, and call this query 1-student cities. So you put this table in there, you go up here and you group it using this. You identify that you want grouping or group by, and you bring down the city, and then you can run it, and you can see that these are the 4 fields that are in 4 cities that are in all the records in this table. Okay. Here's question 3. And it's just asking you to take TBL semester hours, create a grouping query that shows the following field: STR class, it comes from up here, and you just group it, group by. And there were very few people who didn't get these grouping ones. It's interesting, I'm sure you thought that they were all pretty easy, but the truth is that if I hadn't have explained it in the way I did, then most students would have been overwhelmed and not sure of themselves. This turned out to be boring, but I think you at least learned the material about grouping. Anyway, I'll run this, and there is the outcome for grouping all of the classes that are in all of the records in semester hours. Okay, so moving on to question 4. This time you're going to group 2 fields, the STR class and STR semester. And so here's STR class and STR semester. It's coming from the TBL semester hours table, which is what it says here. And so what you're doing then is you're getting all the combinations of class with semester, okay? Class with semester. So you could have accounting in one semester, an accounting class in one semester and the same accounting class in a second semester, and they would both show up in the output. Okay, so if I run this, then you can see, for example, ACC 121 in this semester, but it's also listed in this semester as well. So it's two different semesters. Okay, so that's the answer to that one. So this question 5, now it's asking to show the grouping combinations with STR class, STR semester, and STR service type. So I just wanted you to get an idea of the combinations and how they can make things more complicated in the output. So here I have STR class, STR semester, and STR service type, and I'll run them. And for 121, you can see here I can have it in the same semester, accounting 121, for tutoring, and then accounting 121, same semester, accounting walk-in tutoring. So those are the two service types. So yeah, so the combinations of all three, it's kind of parallel to if you think about primary keys. So this question here said to use TBL semester hours again. But here what I wanted to kind of show you was an example of how you can use the count function. So you can say STR class, and then you can say STR semester, and you can group them. But then you can also count the combinations of those. So to run this, I'll go ahead and run it. And you can see that, for example, accounting 121 in STR semester, there are 10 occurrences in the records, whereas accounting 121 in this particular semester. And then there are 4 records where it shows accounting 121 in this particular semester. Okay, so I just wanted to get you an idea of how the count function works. In this question, question 7, again, we're using TBL semester hours, and this time it's asking you to use aggregate functions, and it's using STR semester, STR class, and num hours. Now, many of you did a count on the STR class, and I accepted that. But really what I was looking for was a group by on STR semester, a group by on STR class, and then you would sum the hours. Now, some of you would also bring down STR class and count them as well. Now, the reason why I wanted it grouping by the class is the count isn't very valuable data, and a user would want more to see the class itself. If they're getting totals, they'd want to see what the class was. But if you want to show both, that's okay too. But in general, the user would want to see this, but I don't think the question was quite clear, so I let it go. So the next question, question 8, also uses TBL semester hours, and it says create a query that shows the following fields: num hours, STR semester, and STR service type. So here is TBL semester hours. Here is the service type, semester, num hours. Okay, and it says the query should do the following: search for service types that have the word tutoring in it. All right, so this is kind of a tricky thing, but right here is the word tutoring, and most of you got that. But the thing that's tricky is that you needed to have a star in the beginning and then a star at the end. Now, some of you had a star at the end, but not a star at the beginning. And some of you didn't have any stars at all, which is the stars meant more points or less points. So anyway, so if you run this, you can see this is the outcome of that particular query. So moving on to question 9, this is about concatenation. So you're taking two things and putting them together, like two strings. But you can use concatenation for anything, numbers as well. You just put them together. Anyway, so here it says create a list of names where the last name is concatenated with the first name. So here we go. Last name, ampersand, double quotes, comma. There's a space here, double quotes, ampersand, and then first name. Okay. You don't have to have these square brackets unless you have spaces in the names of your fields, which is not something that I recommend doing anyway. And then you have full name, which it says here that full name is what you want to have outputted. And then it also says list only those names whose first name starts with M, or last name starts with S. So you notice here there's an M and then there's a star. So that means that anything that starts with an M is okay. And here, this particular criteria is on a separate line than this one. And then you have the S and the star. And so then that means any last name that starts with S. And so we'll run this, and this is the outcome. Okay? Okay, so this is question 10 and the last question. And so we've got, once again, TBL semester hours, number of hours here, and then STR service type, and you're going to prompt the user. So this is going to be a parameter query. So you're going to prompt it, and here's the prompt right here, okay? And so you can run this query, and here it's prompting you for a service type. So I can run service type of tutoring, and there it gives me the total number of hours. So that's basically Queries Module 5, all the solutions to those queries. Thanks.